Getting stuck is easy. Getting unstuck is not so easy, unless you know how. Whether it's personally or professionally, the steps to change are exactly the same. There's a clear-cut formula to living the life you want and deserve. Are you ready to make a change? It's easier than you think. Go to thehabitformulabook.com and get yourself a free copy. Remember, you don't even have to read it. Just do the exercises at the end of each chapter. If you want me to hold your hand, upgrade your order to the premium course. These principles are the same steps I took to work 25% less and make 30% more. If you seriously want to change something in your life, thehabitformulabook.com will show you how. And get yourself a free copy or upgrade to the premium course for even better and faster results. And get unstuck today. thehabitformulabook.com.
Hey everybody! Happy Friday! You know what time it is. It's lunchtime with the Habit Master. I'm your host, Dr. Stephanie Aldrich, and I help people change their habits. Today is a very special day. We are going to be talking about this gentleman right here. We all know who that is. It's Benjamin Franklin. But what we don't know are some of his good habits. And if we do know about them, which we're going to learn today, we're going to go over 4 of them, then maybe we can incorporate it into our own routines and get our mug on a $1,000 bill or a $100 bill and say, Benny, I'm better than you, get off, right? So today we're going to talk about Ben Franklin. Now before we get started, I wanted to remind everybody that you can get your copy of the Habit Formula for free. Yes, for free. All you have to do is go to thehabitformulabook.com and download a free copy of the ebook. If you want to dive deeper into this material, make sure you upgrade your order today after you go to that website, because prices go up. As soon as I'm done with this video, prices are going up. So make sure, grab your free copy and then upgrade your order. And that will allow you to dive deeper in this material and help you get the results that you want quicker and faster than ever before. Remember, we want to make sure that 2019 is the best year ever. Every year should be the best year ever. It's about improvement. It's about getting and living the life that you want. So today we are talking about the habits of good old Ben here. Benjamin Franklin lived 1705 to 1790. Back in the day, that was a long time for someone to live 84 years. And I really think because this cat had his hands in everything, in every arena, and kept his mind active, I think that's why this cat lived to be as old as he did, because he just lived an extraordinary life. Now, a few things that I'm going to tell you about him that I just couldn't remember. You know, I know we studied these guys back in our history classes, but really, did you really even pay attention? Did you sleep during those history classes? I know I did. I was so uninterested. But what I'm getting from doing all of this, and you know, the whole month of September, every Friday, we're exploring innovators, people that invented things, people that were intelligent and thought out of the box. What can we learn from these people? They were just ordinary people. And think of the time frame that these people lived in that we've talked about the last couple of weeks. You know, think of Da Vinci. You know, he didn't have the internet to look up stuff and facts. He just observed the world around him and kind of drew his own conclusions, right? And other people kind of said, yeah, those things were true. And it started a revolution, right? Benjamin Franklin was another one of those people that thought out of the box, lived his life freely, and we can learn from that. We think that we've got it all figured out, and what's funny is we've only just begun. We've begun to understand the world around us, to understand that our thoughts can create reality, to kind of put all the pieces together, and we're still learning what those pieces are and how they do fit together to create the world that we live in today, right? That's what I want these shows to inspire you, that anything is possible and that we can learn from the past, that we can learn from these historical figures, not only of their accomplishments, but their mindset, what they did with themselves, how they lived their lives, how they had their daily routines, aka their habits, so that we can learn from that and keep the ball rolling and keep innovating and keep improving humanity. So Benny over here, President Franklin, he was the first U.S. Postmaster General. He was the 6th U.S. President. He was an inventor, an activist, an author, business owner, a scientist, and a diplomat. One of his famous papers that he was known for was a paper that had to do with the decision-making technique or tool called the pros versus cons. He used to make decisions by writing a list of pros, so for it, why would I want to do this certain thing? And then another list of the cons. So Ben Franklin really termed the technique, the decision-making tool of pros versus cons, because he used to do it on a daily basis. He would make the decision for something or against something by whether it had more pros or cons. I thought that was funny and very interesting that we still use that today. I use that every day. Hey, is this going to benefit me? Is it going to make me money, make me smarter, make me healthier? If not, I'm not doing it. I'm not wasting my time. I'm not wasting my resources. So that is a very interesting thing that, you guys can use too to help, make a decision on whether you should or should not do something. We're going to get into the 4 habits that we can learn from Ben Franklin. The first one is he believed in innovation. He was so curious about the world, about other people, about religious aspects of things, of why people did what they did. He was a scientist at heart. He also was an author and writer at heart. His family, his dad was a candle maker. His brothers, he was one of 17 children. His dad had 2 wives. One had died early, and then the second wife was Ben's mom. And he, was always curious about things. You figure with 16 other siblings that he had to be curious, and he had to kind of come up with his own way of doing things or just to survive, right? He had to be creative and innovative on how to get food, enough food to feed himself, to, mend the old clothes that were passed down to him by, his other siblings. And this curiosity for the world, this need to improve himself, carried on in his adulthood. And when I talked to you about all the things that he did, he was curious about electricity. He was curious. He invented the bifocals for crying out loud. He couldn't see very well when he was doing all of his reading and writing, and he invented the bifocals, right? So he could see. He had a problem and he solved it. And what we can learn from his belief in innovation is The lesson is to push the envelope. You know what? I'm going to redo this list here. Let's just do innovation. And the lesson is push the envelope. Think out of the box. Don't take the status quo for what it is, right? Don't think that we've solved everything. We have all the answers in the world of the universe, right? We don't. We're just barely scratching the surface of technology, of innovation. We don't even know how to heal our own bodies yet, right? Think of all of the things that we're going to be doing in that field alone. Think of technology. Think of all the problems in the world. You know, we still can't feed everybody. We still don't have clean water everywhere. We don't know how to get rid of the plastic stuff or all of the other crazy things that we've invented and is destroying our environment, right? There's so much innovation and improvement that we can do as humanity. We're just scratching the surface. So being curious, being able to ask the questions why or why not is a very important thing to keep humanity improving and progressing as a civilization, right? We don't have all the answers. You don't have all the answers. I definitely don't have all the answers. And the older I get, I feel like my curiosity is getting to the point where I'm just like a little kid, right? Remember when we were little kids and you used to pretend you were other things and people, and you used to go places and you used to think that a little tinker toy or whatever was some huge house or, you know, whatever. Then as we get older, we kind of destroy that creativity and that imagination, and we focus more on logic, on knowledge, on reasoning skills, right? But the older we get, we need to start thinking and be able to be free to express ourselves and to express our curiosity, because that alone is what is going to increase the technology. It will improve humanity to a place where we can live happily together, prosperous together, and for a long, long time, right? So the big thing about his curiosity about the world is continue his legacy, continue to think out of the box, and to, express your opinions, and to be open to other people's opinions and to learn from them. The second one, which is one of my favorites, which is one of the basis of the Habit Formula book, is in his autobiography, they actually printed his schedule. And two questions that he asked during the day was, the first one was, what good shall I do today? This kind of got him in the thinking of, hey, what am I going to do today? What am I going to accomplish today, right? And at the end of the day, it was a reflection. His second question he asked himself was, what good have I done today? Did he accomplish the goals or the tasks or the activities that he wanted to accomplish, right? So the lesson in this is from chapter 5 in the Habit Formula book is to do a to-do list. One of his famous sayings was, and it's one of my favorites, I'm a planner, right? If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Every day he had certain hours that he worked on certain activities. He had planned them the night before so that when it was the new day, he would eat his breakfast and he would go to work and he would have his list of activities. Now, in the habit formula in chapter 5, I go over, how to do this, both professionally and personally, because it's the same thing. It's the same habitual pattern that you take both professionally and personally to get what you want. And basically, I tell you, only do 3 things, 3 big things, personally and professionally. Obviously, when you're going to work, you're working on your professional stuff. When you get home, plan some time during your day, whether it's before work or after work, that you are working on a personal goal that you want to achieve, whether that's getting into shape, whether that's working on your finances and you have to learn a new skill set that you then can translate into your professional day, right? There's so many things, there's so many ways to improve ourselves, both professionally and personally. But without a schedule, without a to-do list, the likelihood of you moving in the correct activities is pretty low. Okay? The third habit that we can learn from Ben was that he was a constant student. I think that was part of his curiosity, his thinking out of the box. Being one of 17 children, I think they said his last formal school education was by the age of 10. So that would be, 5th grade nowadays? For him to actually be able to, learn a trade, learn a skill, do what he wanted to do in his life and make a living, make money to support him and his family, he had to be a constant student. And I think that's why he did so many things. He was an inventor, an activist, an author, a business owner, a scientist, and a diplomat, because he learned so many things. He had a high curiosity for the world and just took that to become a constant student. He was always improving. He was always thinking out of the box and learning from other people. And I think what this can do for us is it gets us out of the comfort zone. Get out of the sweatpants. Go out and do something new. Learn a new hobby. Meet some new people. Travel somewhere new. Eat at a new restaurant this weekend that you've never had. Eat something different on the menu, maybe at your favorite restaurant that you've never had. Do something different. Learn a new skill. Be curious about other people's opinions and ideas. Talk with them. Open your mind up and learn something. Create something new. Do something that will get you out of your comfort zone. Get you out of your boredom. If you're bored, that's your own flippin' fault. You should never be bored in your life. You should always be looking to improve yourself, to increase the skill set that you have, and to become a better person. To, increase the thoughts, the mindset that you have. Make sure that it's positive and open to possibilities. He was always reading, experimenting, and improving himself and improving other people's things. And that's something that we can all learn out of too. Get out of our comfort zone. There's always a better way of doing something. There's always an easier way of doing something. There's always a different way that could be less expensive, less amount of energy. Go learn those things. Your way isn't law. Go and explore the world and other people's ideas. There's 7 billion people, almost 8 billion people on this planet. Everybody has their own way of doing things. There's groups of people that do things a little differently than other groups. Go and learn stuff. You never know what those thoughts or beliefs or whatever, you never know what it can develop into. It might start a complete movement of ideas and innovations that the world has never seen. But it all starts with you. It all starts with me. One person can start a revolution. It can start, something amazing. It only took one Bill Gates and a couple of friends, right? One guy to start something that, we have built on since then, right? With the software and the computers, right? It only took one guy for the internet. It only took one person to invent all kinds of things, right? One person. And then sometimes there's other people that have helped to develop it into something that is more useful, but it only starts with one idea and one person. So remember that. Get out of your comfort zone and learn something new. The fourth and final thing that I thought was important is he believed in the mastermind. Now, if you've ever read Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich, Mastermind is a big chapter in his book that Andrew Carnegie, the way that he got rich was he didn't have to know how to build steel. He just had a little bit of money and had a bunch of friends that knew about it. He had scientists, he had marketers, he had people that knew how to do that stuff, and he was in charge of them, and he ended up paying them, and then they made a product together and made money together. That's what a mastermind is about. You and I, don't have to know everything, right? We need to improve ourselves. We need to be smart enough to know that we don't know everything, and go find people that do. There are so many more smarter, faster, better people out there than you and I. We have to be the brainchild behind the madness, right? We have to be the smart one that's the coach. The coach usually can't play any sport, right? A lot of them have never played any sport. Maybe high school they did, maybe college, but they never played pro. Or if they did play pro, they only played for a little bit. But they're smart enough. They can see things. They're the general. They can see, a macro view of everything. And then they know how to put the pieces together to form a team, to win the game, right? And Andrew Carnegie was exactly the same way. He knew what people he needed to make the product and that made him rich, right? Ben Franklin did the same thing. He didn't become the 6th president of the United States because he didn't know people, right? He had his own newspaper for a little while. He wrote all kinds of things. He did experiments with electricity. It wasn't that he was doing these things alone. He did them with other people. And he was very willing to share his expertise, but also willing to learn from other people that knew their niche in whatever situation that they knew, right? And he knew how to get them together. His whole philosophy was he wanted to live in a place where it was for the good of everyone, that everyone could learn from each other and benefit from that knowledge, from the innovations, from the ideas and the thoughts that other people had that would help their communities improve their lives, right? And I think the lesson is get a mentor. Don't be afraid to say that you don't know something. I don't know tons of stuff. I take classes constantly because if I want to go here, I didn't even know how to do this video. I had to ask somebody how to do Facebook because I don't participate in Facebook very often. And now I'm doing a video during the week every day on a different subject. And I do it from my phone. I didn't know how to do that. All I did was, it's called Google, folks, right? You can Google anything. You can watch a YouTube video on pretty much anything now and learn how to do stuff. I learned how to drywall my house from watching some Canadian drywallers off of YouTube. And then I practiced a little bit and I got pretty good at it, right? Get a mentor. Another chapter in the Habit Formula for all of you that haven't read it yet. Chapter 4. It's all about mentor. step 3 to habit mastery. Chapter 4 is finding a mentor. It's right there, finding a mentor. That has to do with the mastermind. Most mentors now have study groups that get together with people that, yes, they might have more experience, the mentor does, than you, but there's going to be a lot of other people that have different type of experiences that are in the same group. And when you combine all of that experience, all of that knowledge into one group, usually what comes out of that group is outstanding, is crazy, and can change anything in the world, right? So these are some lessons, some habits, some ways of thinking from Benjamin Franklin. You know, this guy got his mug right on that, right? You and I don't have our mug on it, especially with this crazy wig, right? But think of the freedom he had to develop his ideas, to be curious in the world. And that's some of the habits that we can learn. Be curious. Get that childhood-like curiosity and let it run wild. You never know where it's going to lead you, right? I never thought I could, write things. I always enjoyed writing in high school and college, but I never thought I would actually turn it into a business. I'm making money with this. I've got another one that just went to the editor and just got back. It's the same basis, but for parents to teach their kids good habits, right? And it's something that not only am I writing about, but I'm living it. You guys can too. Learn from these 4 habits from a wonderful American, Benjamin Franklin. Let's go over them real quick. So 4 habits that you and I can learn and incorporate into our daily lives today. The first one is he was an innovator. And the lesson in this is think out of the box. Be curious about your world. Don't take the status quo for law. We can always improve something, an idea, an innovation, technology, our health. There's always something that we can improve on, right? Increase our creativity, our imagination, and think out of the box, okay? Number 2, he always had a schedule. He was a planner. If you failed to plan, you plan to fail. That was his saying, and he did it every day. So make sure the lesson in this is to have a to-do list. Remember, in chapter 5, it says how to do a to-do list. So make sure you're planning your day so that you're focusing your energy, your attention, your time on activities that will get you to your goal. You have to figure out what your goal is first, and then you need to start moving in the direction of your goal. And then you're going to hit it, right? That's the key there. Number 3, he was a constant student. He always loved to learn new things. This translates to the lesson of getting out of your comfort zone. Don't stay in the same place. You should be traveling, you should be moving, getting new jobs, meeting new people, learning new things. The better you are, the better you're going to be to other people. The more you can help them solve their problems, right? And the 4th thing we can learn from Benjamin Franklin is he loved the mastermind. He would gather people up in his community that had different talents and skills, and they would try to coordinate and make things for the betterment of their community. And what we can learn from that is get a mentor and start a group. Join different groups out there that maybe you're a Baptist. There's plenty of churches out there that you can join. Maybe you want to join Kiwanis or, a study group or something that gets you in the same mindset as other people, but yet your talents and skills can better the whole group, and then that can get out into the community and better the community. So these are just some things, some habits that I picked up on from just, studying Benjamin Franklin, and I know that these are practical skills that everybody can do. So I hope everybody has a good Friday. That's it for me today. make sure that if you want to learn more about the habit formula, grab a free copy of the habit formula at thehabitformulabook.com. Prices go up today if you want to upgrade to a larger, longer course. Also, if you listen to podcasts, go on iTunes or Spotify and you'll find Lunchtime with the Habit Master shows. And go to YouTube. I just uploaded yesterday 3 new videos that will help you with the 3 pillars of success, which is mindset, planning, and action. So all of us can succeed together if we join our forces. So that's it. You guys have a great weekend, and I'll see you next week.